Many people asking how 12 apostles died, but one thing for sure is that New Testament tells of the fate of only 2 apostles. Judas hanged himself after betraying Jesus Christ, and James, son of Zebedee, was executed by Herod about 44 AD. It is hard to imagine that because of your belief, you will be punished and sometimes end up in death. It was the unique mission of 12 apostles to spread the teachings of Jesus. Almost most of them have experienced an unwanted death and suffered greatly for their faith. So in this video, join me to find out how the 12 apostles died for Jesus Christ.
Which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking.
But before we start, if you like this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell like this to be notified in my next video. Thank you. The Bible doesn't tell us how Apostle Peter died. The most commonly accepted church tradition is Peter was crucified upside down in Rome. Tradition says when Peter was put to death, he requested to be crucified just like you see in the video, on inverted cross. The reason for his request simply because he had denied his Lord. He did not consider himself worthy to die as Jesus had. Paul. Even historians debate the exact date or manner in which Paul died, but it is almost universally accepted that he was martyred. Based on the historical events of the day, it is likely that Paul was beheaded, possibly around the same time that Peter was crucified. His death was part of the execution of Christians ordered by the Roman Emperor Nero following the Great Fire in the city in 64 CE. If you are asking who's Emperor Nero, according to historians, Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus ruled the Roman Empire from 54 to 68 AD. Encyclopedia Britannica and most historians agree that he was a brutal, irresponsible, and opulent ruler who was famous for persecuting Christians. Andrew. According to church history and tradition, Andrew kept bringing people to Christ even after Jesus' death. He never seemed to care about putting his own life at risk. It is believed that he was martyred by crucifixion in the city of Patras, which was on northern coast of Peloponnese in Greece. Given the fact that he was likely crucified there, he must have, like many of the other apostles, went well beyond Judea to bring the gospel into all the world as Christ had commanded. It's interesting that he was crucified like Christ but in the pattern or shape of an X, which was often a Christian symbol and is now known as St. Andrew Cross, because it was said that Andrew, like his brother Peter, considered himself unworthy of being crucified in the same manner as Christ was. Thomas. According to Syrian Christian tradition, Thomas was allegedly martyred as St. Thomas Mount in Shunai on July 3 in 72 AD, and his body was interred in Melapori. Ephraim the Syrian states that the apostle was killed in India, and his relics were taken then to Edessa. This is the earliest known record of his death. Philip. Together with Bartholomew, they were arrested in Hierapolis in Asia Minor, and they were tortured. Philip and Bartholomew were condemned to crucifixion upside down. However, Philip's preaching from the cross so swayed the crowd that they were sought to free them. Although Bartholomew was freed, Philip refused to be freed and died there in about 80 CE. Matthew. This Christian website says that Matthew became a missionary and was arrested in Ethiopia. It was there that he was taken or impaled to the earth by spears and then beheaded. While others says that Matthew was stabbed in the back by a swordsman in Ethiopia sent by King Hyrtacus after he criticized the king's morale. Bartholomew. Very little is known about Bartholomew's death. Some sources simply say he was martyred, while others say he was skinned alive and beheaded. One source says he was flayed with knives. Flayed can mean to simply peel skin off, but it can also reference skin being removed because of severe beating or whipping. And indeed, Another hypothesis suggests that severe weeping tore Bartholomew's skin to shreds. The common thing amongst the different theories is that, whatever the cause, it was probably unpleasant. James. Many theories about the death of Apostle James. Some people say he was crucified during his ministry in Egypt. And another one, James died as martyr and his body sewed into pieces. Many historians say James preaching on a wall when Jewish religious leaders decided to throw him off apparently survived, but they stoned him and beat him to death with a club. Simon. Also, Simon had many theories how he died. Theory number 1. He died peacefully at Edessa, which is now somewhere in modern-day Turkey. Another theory, the Catholic website says Simon allegedly died in Edessa but was crucified. Last theory says that Simon was missionary in Africa and England, where he was crucified around 74 AD. Matthias. According to Christian belief, he died at Sebastopol and was buried there, near the Temple of the Sun. Alternatively, another tradition maintains that Matthias was stoned at Jerusalem by the local populace and then beheaded. Judas. While everyone knows the death of Judas, the Gospel of Matthew says that Judas regretted betraying Jesus and tried to return the 30 pieces of silver that he had been paid. So Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and hanged himself. John. The only one of the apostles generally thought to have died a natural death from old age. He was the leader of the church in the Ephesus area and is said to have taken care of Mary, the mother of Jesus, in his home. During the mission persecution in the middle 90s, he was exiled to the island of Patmos. There he is credited with writing the last book of the New Testament, the Revelation. An early Latin tradition has him escaping unhurt after being cast into boiling oil at Rome. Well guys, it hurts to think, but this has been the compensation to the apostles of Jesus Christ. In spreading his teachings, their lives become a substitute and their experiences were not pleasant. By the way guys, if you have additional information about the death of 12 apostles, just comment your opinion in the comment box. Thank you for watching.